How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just got this package in the mail from 1320 Performance, so let's roll that intro and open this thing up. Alright guys, so a while back I ordered something very exciting and it finally arrived. So I have opened the box, but I haven't actually unpackaged what's inside yet. I just wanted to open it and make sure it was the right thing, and it is. So I'm excited to see what this thing looks like. So let's get this thing opened up and see what we got here. So you guys might have guessed it already, but this is a 1320 stainless steel turbo manifold. Now they were having what's called a blemish sale, and they were getting rid of some product that had some damages on it and stuff like that. So they had a few of them there that they were selling off for 60% off, and I couldn't pass up that deal. So we got some hardware here and some stickers, of course. And I don't actually know the condition of this manifold yet because I haven't unpackaged it yet. So I'm excited to see kind of what it's going to look like, if there's any major damages on it or not. So I'm going to pull this thing out of here and we'll see what we got. Oh my goodness. That is a thing of beauty, guys. All right, guys, well, first glance, this thing is beautiful. I honestly don't see any major damages at all. You can see here on this V-band flange, there's a couple nicks there, which I'm not too concerned about. Those aren't even gonna be visible. There's like some very, very minor scratches and stuff in the steel, but to me, I would think that that's just normal, just kind of what the steel looks like. So in looking at this thing, giving it a good once over, I don't even really see any blemishes at all. Now in the picture that they used in the sale, I could see in the picture that there was actually a fairly significant scratch here. So I'm guessing they used a different manifold for that picture, because that is obviously not apparent on this one. I can't see anything wrong with this one at all, so I am very happy with this. All right, guys, so just for reference, this is the turbo manifold that I was originally planning on using, but if you remember back when I had this test fit in the car, I was having issues with the alternator. So the turbo was actually contacting the alternator, and there was no possible way that I could get any piping or filter or anything on here to clear the alternator. I actually ended up modifying my alternator and the bracket just to barely clear the turbo, and it's been a pain in the butt all year because I've had no tensioner on this thing. So I've had a lot of belt squeal, and I had to fab something up that's really redneck to make it work, but that's not something I want to run in the long run. And I know they do make relocation brackets, which would mount the alternator down there, but in kind of test fitting that as well, instead of having the turbo in the way underneath the alternator, then it would be the same issue with the top of the alternator if I moved it down. So this manifold is actually designed for an H series in a Civic. So that is the design that they used for this manifold. So I shouldn't have the same kind of fitment issues. So I want to get this manifold mounted on the engine just kind of for fun. I want to make sure everything's going to line up good. Probably get the turbo on there just to make sure everything's going to work. Once I know that it works on the block, then I'm going to start tearing this all apart and see if I can get it mounted inside the car. because I want to know how it's going to mount up against the alternator. I'd like to know whether or not I'm going to have to order a relocation bracket or not, and then I might even be able to start fabbing up some piping. So we'll see how the day goes, but that's kind of the plan. All right, guys. Well, now we know that the turbo and the manifold fits on the block, and it looks freaking amazing. I love this. So good. Now I want to know if this is going to fit in the engine bay. So, as you can see, I've been busy. I got the bumper off of here and started mocking up all the turbo stuff that I built last year. Didn't bother recording any of that because I know you guys have seen that all before. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link up top. You can have a look at that. It's at the beginning of this playlist. But yeah, basically I've got everything off of here except the exhaust. So I'm gonna get cracking on that, get all that removed, and then we can get that manifold put in here. Also, I had started fabbing up the pipe for this side, and I actually did get it finished. It's just not welded yet, but it's obviously not going to line up now with the new turbo location. So let's get the manifold in the engine bay, find out what we're dealing with here, and what more needs to be done, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, well, I am pretty happy with this. So as you can tell by the way they designed it, they put a bit of a tilt on the turbo, and that way there's enough room in here that we can run the exhaust straight down, and it's not going to get in the way of the rad. And then also, I may need to get a pipe or something to run this a little bit this way so that I can fit a filter on there. But it looks like I'm going to be able to keep the alternator exactly where it is. So I'm probably just going to end up cleaning up this bracket and then actually getting a new alternator because this one's really crusty. And I modified this one so that it would fit the other turbo manifold. So I'm going to end up getting all new stuff here. So it's going to look really clean again. But yeah, I think this is going to work really well. Only thing now is that with this piping that I kind of mocked up earlier, with the other manifold in place, this actually all lined up perfectly with it before. Now it does not, and we need to get up there where I have a 90-degree elbow adapter. You can probably see it through here. Yeah, so we got the turbo come down there, and then I have a 90-degree adapter, so I need to get from there down there. And I am running very low on piping. All these pipes are too big. I have that little elbow there, which is a bit of a cutoff. And I actually just remembered that we used a 45-degree pipe from this universal kit, and we used it on the CRX as the intake. So I may actually need to steal that off the CRX so I can use it here. All right, guys, so pop the hood on the CRX, and as you can see, I got my 45-degree pipe there, and it's a decent sized pipe. So that should be all that I'm gonna need in order to finish my mock-up over here. So I think the turbo build is gonna take priority over the CRX right now, and I'm gonna end up stealing this off of there and seeing what I can mock up. All right, guys, well, now that I got this 45 out of the CRX, I'm kind of having other ideas here. So I got the 90 coming off the turbo, but what if I just had a straight adapter from the turbo to the piping going down, and I got this little 90-degree elbow here. So if I went straight down, instead of using the 45 that's on here, I could just use the straight part of it so that I can go down, use this 90 to go straight across to this. And then I can still use this piece, and I'm basically just going to make a straight down, a 90, come straight to this. I think that's gonna be the simplest way to do it. All right, guys, well, that's about gonna wrap up the video for today. I got a lot of stuff to think about now, how I'm gonna route the piping. All right, guys, well, while I was recording the outro to this video, I had an idea, and I clocked the turbo this way. And so now I have my 90 coming off of here, and it just loops around. I have another 90 going to the intercooler. I don't know, maybe let me know in the comments below if this is a proper way to do this. It definitely works. Only thing I'm gonna be worried about now is my wastegate flange up here. So I'm gonna have to order a wastegate and find out if it's gonna clear all of this, but I think this is a much cleaner way of routing this piping, because then I have nothing going on under here. I may even relocate the alternator down low so it's out of the way, and then I can just slap a big filter on here and we're good to go. But yeah, definitely drop me a comment below, guys. Let me know what you think about routing the piping this way. I'd really like to hear your feedback on it, but I think it's gonna work just fine, and it's gonna be a much cleaner setup. But yeah, next time you'll probably see me doing some fab work. I got some more stuff I wanna do on the valve cover, and I'll probably get to work on some more of the piping and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll save that for next time. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And like I said, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this, and we'll see you next time.